three things that are super irritating, in my opinion, in a game. They're actually bugs or imperfections. They're not that very hard to fix, to be honest. Hi, I'm Jemo. I'm a game developer and designer with 13 years of experience and Ark Raiders player. So in game development and in software development, there's something, there's this process that team sets and discusses the importance of each task and then the score of how much complicated it is to fix. So what I'm proposing here today are actually three things that, in my opinion, are a real pain in the ass, and they are not that complicated to fix. The last one can be a little bit more tricky because I believe it's deeply inside the engine, and that might not be that quick to fix. But let's talk about it at the end. So the first thing is practice range. There's those three mannequins, each representing a person with different shield, light, medium, heavy. And also when you hit a medium shield or any other shield, you can see that you hit the shield. And if you hit the head, you can see that you hit the head. There's one problem though. The headshots are not calculated properly. I can prove it to you. This is the body, and this is the renegade, and this is the heavy shield. It takes 5 shots in the body for a renegade to kill. 1, 2. Right? But it doesn't take 5 headshots to kill. Why is it a big deal? First, imagine a player who just, launched the game. There's a quest that you should go to the practice range and check it out. And you go to the range and check out your weapons and you compare your damage and you see what's what, which weapon is better, which weapon is worse. And then this doesn't really work well in terms of headshots. But if it doesn't work in terms of headshots, then how can you be sure it does work well with different stuff, right? And I can tell you, you can't, because it doesn't work, for example, for the Labra at all. I don't have the Labra right now because after the expedition, I don't have the blueprint because it's really hard to get and the Labra is bad. So I didn't really, spend more time to get it. But the Labra doesn't do any damage to them. And headshots don't count. So I imagine what's the cause of this. It's just that the systems for a player's damage and health and armor and shield, etc., are separate from this. And developers didn't want, to copy the whole code from one to the other because there were some complications most probably. And previously when they were making this, they were just, making the same stuff for the mannequins and for the players. And they just didn't have time to, to do the same for them here. But really, it's impossible to make any useful comparison without this. Second thing, this one. I cannot count how many times I died because of this. Now, what is the problem? The problem is that this system is a universal system for consoles, PC, and PC with controllers. That's why you only have 4 categories with a shortcut, because on a controller there are 4 buttons. And there's this wheel. Now, unfortunately, it's broken with a mouse, and it's also broken with a keyboard, which is very bad because it's broken and you can't really quickly use it. Now, I know that developers would 100% say, come on, Jemo, casual players don't need that precision and they don't need this to work, like 100% for a PvP pro, I don't know who, Tfue. But I disagree. I disagree because this doesn't work in a very unpredictable way. I will start from the easier part to understand, the keyboard shortcuts. Now, you would think that you can just hit Q and then 3 to pick the grenade, right? Wrong. Because even if you're not such a good player, I think, you have a muscle memory and you very quickly learn that it's Q3. But if you tap it too quickly, it will not select the item because it will pick the pickaxe first. Can you see? If I tap it very fast, it picks pickaxe first. I know exactly why this happens because I'm a developer. It's because the system reacts to the keybinds only when it knows the user didn't tap Q but holded it, because a Q tap does something different than Q hold, because Q hold shows this circle and Q tap picks an item if you didn't have anything in your hands, or it goes to the next item if you already have an item in your hand. And Q hold shows this circle, right? Now, I'm not sure how the system is coded. Most probably it's deep inside the engine. The fix is really easy for this. And I would really, really love you, Embark, if anybody is listening to it, to fix that, because I would love to use the keyboard shortcuts. And they are impossible to use because you have to wait, and this is unnatural behavior. Now, all right, so you can use the radial menu, right? Still wrong, because it's different on a controller to use it than with a mouse. This is something that is harder to understand, and also I'm not very sure that I'm right, but it speaks to the sensitivity of this. For example, if you thought that your item was here at the bottom, but then you need an item from the top, this goes a lot quicker if you manage to go up, and goes a lot slower if you don't, and then you go like this. Because not only it takes longer time, but also sometimes, I don't understand why, it gets stuck here, for example, or here. And I cannot pick number 3. And I'm trying and I'm trying and I'm fighting and I cannot pick number 3. And so many times I died because of that. This is really, I hate this. And the last thing is about jumping. It's not precisely about jumping, but jumping onto the stuff. So basically, how the game works is if you press W and then you're nearby an obstacle and press space bar, the character just either jumps over it or just walks over it or goes through, right? And in case of most of the heights, it works properly, like this, right? You're pressing W and then you're pressing spacebar, and it's okay. As I said, with most heights, it works properly. Sometimes, if the obstacle is higher, you need to point your mouse or the crosshair up so your character knows where to go, right? It's still okay. it took me some time to understand how it works, that you need to look up. There's a couple of heights that make it doesn't work. And it's exactly a thing that Dr. Disrespect addressed with while saying that the game is unathletic. Because there's this very dangerous height. This is the one where it doesn't work. You go, you're pressing W, hitting space, nothing happens. You just jump. Yeah, obviously you can jump like normally jump over, right? You can do it like that. But it's very often that you're standing near the obstacle and you're trying to go over it and you can't and you just die. Many times I died like that. And this height is not even that bad because you already know that you need to jump over this, right? So you can prepare earlier. But there is this height that is like, I'm jumping and it's almost the height that you should be able to walk through, but you still cannot jump over it. Oh, so I think that those are the most irritating 3 little things that I think should be easy to fix. And I hope that with this slower cadence of content updates, there will be some time for those fixes. So Embark, if I was to pick one of those 3, I would definitely pick the headshot counts here and the calculations here, because this is the best point of reference, you know, to check different guns. And thank you. Let me know in the comments which of those 3 are the worst in your opinion. And if you like this video, hit a like, hit a subscribe, and stay safe out there, Raider.